Good morning, friends, and how are you? My name is Makena Ngwato. Most of you already know me from the South African Black Hunters and Sports Shooting Association. There's a very concerning issue that's happening at the moment. The issue relating to the amendment bill. And I sat with myself and I thought, I want to make an appeal to all the black gun owners and all gun owners generally, but this message is directed to the black gun owners. I want us to come together. I want us to unite and challenge this bill. The reason why I'm talking specifically to the black gun owners is because I know that most of you subscribe to other associations. And after analyzing and trying to think about what the intentions of the government can be, or what actually is pushing the government to come up with these regulations, could be because they think there are no black gun owners. For other political reasons, we know what's happening in the country. The issue that actually concerned me most, I haven't had a chance to read everything in the bill, but one of the issues that concerned me was taking away the rights of gun owners to reload their own ammunition. To me, it does not make any sense. The reason why it doesn't make sense is because Minister Barbara Creecy, she is busy trying to transform the hunting and the wildlife industry. She's pushing in more black people into the industry, which is very good and which we appreciate. And people like myself, who are professional hunters, you will realize that we use a lot of ammunition. And in that way, buying ammunition and running a business again, it does not make business sense if you have a reloading equipment and you cannot use it, or the government takes it away from you. Because when you reload your own ammunition, it's much cheaper compared to getting ammunition from the shelf. It saves us a lot of money as professional hunters that Minister Barbara Creecy is developing. Then comes Minister Begitele, who wants to take the right to reload our own equipment, our own ammunition. This means we're gonna have to push our prices very high, because a person like myself, I am running workshops around the country. I am developing hunters, black hunters to be more specific. I've been to Limpopo, I've been to Northwest, I've been to Northern Cape, I've been to Free State. I'm now going to Eastern Cape just to workshop hunters. People who have never held a gun in their hand. People who don't even own a gun. So what I do, I rent out my firearm, because there's normal wear and tear on that firearm. I cannot just use it for free. I'm also not getting any funding from anybody. So I rent it out. I charge for the ammunition. So when I reload, that helps me to drop my prices and make those who cannot afford to then at least get it at an affordable price, or a much lesser price compared to when I was using factory ammunition. So I don't know if the ministers talk to each other. That's something that actually worries me a lot, because it seems like they're working against each other. The other thing that also concerns me is taking away the right to self-defense. That also is very concerning. We need to make it clear. You must remember one thing. When the government calls in the representatives of hunters and sports shooters, most faces that they see in those meetings are white faces. So they don't think that there are black hunters, there are black sports shooters. They don't think that. And I want to say to all these associations that are existing, they need not to only use black people as members. You see, when they go to the government, they say, no, we have enough membership from black people, we have so many black people, which is true. But are the black people involved in the decision-making processes? When the government says we need to see black owners, do they see black faces there? So it's about time that the existing associations also transform their decision-making bodies. They incorporate black people in there. I've been in this industry long enough to can tell you the trouble that I went through. The South African Black Hunters and Sports Shooters Association is the second association that I've been part of building. There was the first one was African Responsible Hunters and Sports Shooters Association. We started that association. We went to one of the big associations, which are predominantly white and predominantly Africans. We sat down with the CEO of that association. We told him what our intentions were. And what the CEO of that association did was that you guys do not have to register your own association. Just come in under our umbrella. You can run a branch within our association and we will get you onto the board. Hearing that, because we wanted to work together, because I personally believe, and most of you will also believe that and agree with me that when it comes to hunting, to sports shooting, to self-defense, it's not a matter of white or black. So we agreed. We did not register our association. Then we went under their umbrella. Sometime later, he came back to me and said to me, I'm sorry, but the board members don't see themselves sitting with one of you guys in a boardroom and making decisions. Which is why when we started the South African Black Hunters and Sports Shooters Association, we got the same request from other associations that said, no, why don't you join the existing associations? The problem there is we cannot show our faces to the minister. And let's talk politics now, straight politics without mincing words. Our government knows that black people are the majority voters. And we all know it. So when they sit down and they hear words for people who are not majority voters, or who they don't even get a lot of votes from, do you think they're going to react? No. It's about time that we as black people come up and force the government to react. We voted for them. We wanted them to empower us. But if you trace the amendment of the Firearm Control Act from 2000, they empowered the criminals. A criminal can shoot at you, you cannot shoot back at the criminal. So now, are they saying we are all criminals? If they say, they came to us and said, Tumamina, and we send them to go there and represent us, represent our interest, but the interest, they representing and empowering the criminals. And they will still come back to us and say, Tumamina. Let's talk to those people. Sibatumile. So we need to make them aware that we are not happy. I'm talking to you as a business owner. You can be owning a tavern, a taxi. You can be owning any form of a small business, and you carry cash in your hands every day when you knock off. And for you to make sure that that cent that you're creating for your children to live gets safely to the bank, because you cannot afford to get a cash in transit vehicle to come and collect that little sum of money from you, yet it's enough money to put bread on your table. You have to make sure that you get to the bank safely. So they're taking that right away from you. So please, let us stop hiding behind the white man, because the government does not take the white man serious. That's one thing that is very clear. And this issue is not about white or black. They think they're hurting the white man, maybe, but they're also hurting us. They're hurting the whole nation. They think they're hurting those that don't vote for them, but they're hurting us who give them our votes. What do we get in return of the votes that we give them? This is very emotional. And it's discouraging. I think Minister Barbara Creecy and Minister Bigitele must sit down and talk to each other, because the two of them are working against each other. You building hunters, you taking away the rights from hunters. People, I'm out of words actually. I don't know what to say, but this is high time. Everybody, every black person that owns a gun, especially for self-defense, I'm gonna create a platform, and I want us to all come together and talk. I'm not saying we're pushing aside the white people. We work with them. They've been in the industry for too long. They know the ins and out of the industry. But we need to back them up. They need to back us up. We need each other. Here we don't need black, we don't need white. If we have grudges, let's firstly solve this matter, and then we will go back and sort out our grudges. But for now, I want us all to come together and face this issue. It's very sensitive and it's very scary. If the criminal is going to be empowered, then they must go get votes from the criminals then. Then we will find a new administration that will look after our rights. We have a right to self-defense.